Sport ewo North England ewo United Kingdom Montreal eso a ebeto odwassament me ho ase bia sode ama protest ya unity ama wi akire no enkwada miensa ane yawo wonom sekan eku wonom ewo UK e Montreal eso na enam so ama eye anti-immigrant misinformation campaign for anti-esi Montreal so akire se ene ye nchede wo biada agi corona boso a wo ba ye Facebook no so a we no eye videos and pictures of inogan wo hwenhwe ana wi wani so a enye yie na wo hwe eye protest no a wono mo empese ni patuntum kura mpo benya enjamframa ahomye ewo UK Montreal so nti wo mategu emontene eso na no ana enawie se Ghana fo beka yi a agimensam wo premto breka se boso no yede eso mo se Ghana fo ade hye a wono ewo United Kingdom sabre wo mo tiam metime wo mawo sese mi fie fire se wo mo kiremu a wo mo entimi mpiempo nkoto nso nom enkoto bia ne ni wo mo entimi enkwa adwuma eno nti Ghana fo ayi wo krom ha de ayam hyehyɛ nkasa ana de yaso se anyanyambia no se biomi kope bibia bedi enem bede na nam na boni bi atimi ato Ghana fo ade hye a wo United Kingdom wana nanso empane se de wo kwatan de wo batan de ogina ho de atentrodo Ghana's High Commissioner ewo UK eye papa Owusu Ankoma wo de atodwa akirem se de akoso ewo United Kingdom memo no Ghana fo akwese wo konfo kwa adanum wo se tatimunya din ene se Ghana ni di hye bia ne hono a ne ho atimi aka na wo wogidie ni awrehemu se wonom empanifo a wo musi Ghana na mu ewo United Kingdom no wo mo de niam ahodo egu akwa mu se de beya wodasani bia da wo free Ghana no se bi wo ntimi anti kokoniwa empo na wo tiremu a ewo se de akwaso no eni anyan de se ye beka se nipa tuntum immigrant no obi en free krom hono mo enko ani ade nanso wo awrehemu se ye kasai Ghana ni di hye bia ni hono mo a de akwaso a mentime ho ase asode no ne ho atimi aka ewo United Kingdom emontene eso na emom se bempanifo de to dwakirem se ye pam aboa pataku ansa ne yeto aberekirefo enu nti afutuo bako a wode ama Ghana fo ade hya wo UK eni se efiti na ekure kopem sa asumdwe beba ewo United Kingdom no wo bia nhye dam fiti anopa enkopem sa nwumre no so bebo sa abra no de na ekwan mu da ho firi sa aboa patakura wo sese kwantempo mu anwoye a yentinsim emunsam a papa Owusu Ankoma wodi to dwa enie.
No Ghanaians have been affected except that during our inquiries all over the UK, there was one Ghanaian who said he was coming for a bus and she was threatened. But apart from that, nothing untoward has happened in relation to Ghanaians. Even after this morning, our officers are calling around the country, the leadership of Ghanaian community, asking for an update and urging them to encourage Ghanaians in the UK to try and be indoors by latest 7 p.m. and also to avoid areas where these protests are envisaged to be held later in the day. Well, we may do that. As I said, we've spoken to the leadership of the Ghanaian community to communicate to the various membership. We may place it on our website. Travel advisory may be issued probably later in the day if we get more information. We think that Ghanaians should be careful. Don't forget that the nations that have issued travel advisories are nations with very predominantly Muslim population. And you know that some sites for Muslims have been specially targeted.
Enti ebusuani ayeti yeyi eye papa Owusu Ankoma wono eye Ghana ni disi a wono na si Ghana fo nyina na mu ewo United Kingdom wo himan krom ana wo kire se eho no modwo pa titiri wo ene bia Ghana fo tie na de Ghana ni disi e bia ne ho no a ne ho atimi aka enu nti no omanfo ne adehye a mo manfo ewo UK Montreal so no mo nka makoma entomo yam emunsam eno no
ya to aka se bono so ane ye body awura mu ewo soafo no ena ohwe o magana sika sem so Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam akaze tirim se o man Ghana ba we betena kwanwa so pe ena ode bo hyehye Ghana fo nyina se afi we pa o man mu ye ho be de free se dokodoko pa ni nyina ne se sika sem be gyanna so ma Ghana fo nyina ho atoye pa wonam de to Ghana fo nyina se bedu ba bi na nwuma be busu nti ba ko fra dom de fra mo na be ye adwuma wo man mu se ye kese no kirem se ye Ghana fo small da mo kan na nkosi sa ni sent mu fancha won mo po kire se enam se o man Ghana domestic debt exchange program nti ama esi ameka esi sika sem no jese nkwanim and this is on Diama Ghana de share brepan which him say Ghana for where much walen Monfo anche omo pa free say enya de na nka ya ba tia ba nwa so nsusu ho anase de trimu pone say Ghana for be kwa ho kire ti say mu nti so de say wonya de tudwa ne nyina ne say asen central ma se bedwanen akompre kon eye kon de Japan be ka kire MPP amanyuko ni say won ma mode na monja mfunsu won fa ntum kan kire Ghana for so ma mode de Ghana hwa Ghana for hwa mo free say en sima wodo ne bo sha no say Ghana for no nya de o mabo mode ya ho adwuma say de mo kan ni sente no omon kan kire Ghana for nyina say Ghana for mu chawale ni free say ya form pan sense we mu nso obo se west ma se bedwane akwakuku aten onso be ka kire MPP amanyuko ni say mo mode ya no munyi omo na so omo si nketen kan kire Ghana for say what mouth mo my free say boss out of say Ghana for titiri ni sikasem no Ghana for hu ne say ya bra pa ne senti sebe ba bo na Ghana for atumi age o matu no maboa mane breaking the age as the age agenda na ba munti on pa Ghana for na Ghana for je omfu so do tumudi a eja yetumi atu aba na say MPP amanyuko akoso atena my Ghana ba nwa so na ndo na town hall meeting kese akoso my Ghana mu na ye brata osana abo so na to so nsia na ne Dr. Amin Adam eka kira Ghana for nyina say enam say eye domestic eye debt exchange program ninti ama international monetary eye fund for no IMF for dwumadi a omudie no oman Ghana say boy homoden say wonom chese requirement betime meeting ti no omoden adoto Ghana sika say ba ye enkofa ho kira kese bi meto ye ne eye international monetary fund for nintamti ena kofa bia ba oman Ghana say eye kese no ye huna ma ne pande wo kirem say enya bo apaye say abana ba won homoden ade o hawo kese ato Ghana for so na mamu no bosia hodo ye kwaburo ye na ka no oman Ghana say eye kasa ne ye huna ma ninti mamode anamu nu nsuo mfa ntwe opafisa ban egusu bu adwumaden sei ahokyira Ghana ahokyira wodo Ghana fo na mu no enche bi ebekwa we yenti Ghana fo mfo so nyina emfa ntwe modimre ekese adwumede na ase emu enchire mu nie
because it was one of the requirements by the IMF. We started with the domestic debt exchange program. The domestic debt exchange program was a very successful program, achieving 95% participation. And on this note, I would like to appeal to the people of Ghana to forgive us. Forgive us. It is never the intention of any government to impose hardships on its people. More so, the MPP government that has demonstrated that we want to reduce the burden of the Ghanaian people. And I will show why this government has, from the beginning, tried to reduce the burden of the Ghanaian people. That same government cannot impose hardships on the same people. It was a necessary, very important decision at the time that if we avoided it, our economy will not recover such as it has recovered today. The decisions we made and all the support you gave us, the people of Ghana, during the DGEP has contributed largely to the recovery our economy is seeing today. And this is why I want to appeal to you to forgive us. But also to thank you, the people of Ghana, to thank you on behalf of the president for the sacrifices, for the efforts that you all have made in participating in the domestic debt exchange program that saved our economy. And so I thank you very much for that support you gave to the government.
Any AOT ye swafo no ena hwe oman Ghana yesika sem eso Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam nene na atia na ba Facebook no so an picture does old Mr. Papa na nimu nya sede ya kura dim za na hura ho pa enti Ghana for we de o kiremu a mo chewalen
yentu akase bo no so na ye momfe ngure mu ewo NDC amanyuko no emu a wopani a wotu frank apre to men ediama NDC amanyuko no se mampani eye kane mampani John Dramani Mahama esire mu se jata bole bamboyfo nyina boys prefect wono an wakasai wo kirem se waye din amanie ma bia fa na se pa se akwasi ampofo ajanum wasimaje jame ho ama asem afamase kane mampani John Dramani Mahama e kirem se yati krom ha ana NPP amanyuko no apam ne se kabane slit ebia hye wono kane mampani John Dramani Mahama sai wobra na wote aba anwa so se mampani no ene enkonfam ekwaji hostel ewo Burkina Faso ne importamu a ene hostel no air condition wom ene microwave wom mobile same ana kire se eyi home theater nso simunti ubedru enkonfam hostel ho no na ebom sakaten enkonfam nie sakaten enkonfam nie wose enkonfam ne time wrapo ya na wose enade efunu no na ne abie na obebie ni akire Ghana fo ane yeso pani kasantam ni nsuo mu na kane mampani John Dramani Mahama e kirem se enye no kura da se enkonfam bi etui efiri Ghana ekopie mu ewo Burkina Faso na mom eyenhihye bia na wode ba se na be ya anka enkonfam ye betimi ehwane ne dodo tifido ane ne mpotamo na nkaja ye dibiagu emfidie mu incubator na nkomu nyinyine a ye do onom abankran ene afenso no southern part of Ghana na nkatimi aboa amasebio emoa yen atima akoso Ghana ha na de ba ko ene se ensem troni bi ana sabra na wo mo eyen enkokọ no tifido ne mpotamo no wo ko ho se wo koye interview na wabra woduru ba bia eye Guinea fowl confirm ne wo no ana wobusa security ne say please good morning na security I do so yes good morning was say where are the Guinea fowls ana security no beka kire nsem drone ne say the Guinea fowls they have fly brofonyam kan they have fly to Burkina Faso enti wono kwade wo kirem say na security no hu ne say bia agrobi na wodie ana nsem drone no edie security ne kan beto amonte say wo ko ba bia ye confirm no yesen confirm no wo mo immigration so confirm na tu wo mo akwasiki for refugee wo Burkina Faso ne portable enya no kreda enti Ghana fo mote sansam no a momontongu confirm bia ne hono mo a wo mutu ye ekọ Burkina Faso
We were supposed to create an incubator for guinea fowls, and so the incubation plant was built, the incubators were put there, and they were going to incubate the eggs and raise day-old guinea fowl chicks for distribution to households, 100 chicks, and you will be given the poultry house and shown how to raise the guinea fowls. And then there was supposed to be a processing plant so that the guinea fowls will be bought off the households and processed, and they will put them in frozen trucks to send them down to the south to market. Unfortunately, the project ran into issues. The media criticized it, and they came and said the guinea fowls had flown to Burkina Faso. No guinea fowls flew to Burkina Faso. Guinea fowls are not migratory birds, and the project was not for you to come and see thousands of guinea fowls in one place. It was supposed to incubate the eggs and give the guinea fowl day-old chicks to the farmers. And so somebody came and asked, he says he asked the watchman, where are the guinea fowls? And the watchman said, they go Burkina Faso, they go come rainy season, they go come back. And then it took a life of its own. The media went and published it. And up to now, there are people who believe that there were some guinea fowls that flew to Burkina Faso, you know.
Kane mampani John Dramani Mahama ana wo tirim sese wan kasa wotiri ho a ene epo na bomu taso ne betwa wonti ene de wo beka mu no kura kire Ghana fo enkunfam bia ne hono mu a wo mutu ye efiri Ghana kopie mu ewo Burkina Faso nemum eye nipa bi ana fa kwati kwase betwa ntro ede egu nani mu ase na wo kasa na wo tirim se ade ba ko a ebehia aban wei a yesese wo manani ekọ ho ene se senka ye ka Burkina Faso a na nka bire bi atwa mu no womo ene Ghana ewa anyonkofa papa nanso ne mampani akufo adon konkonsa wokodi yenti ana ma anyonkofa ada Burkina Faso ene Ghana ntam no ehwehwa sese bi wa bere 190 years enum eno ntire waka kire Ghana fo nyina se nyame ya dom na se ND samanyuko no efra banwa afiwe se mampani ne aban foforo a wono mbehwe ama konkonsa mampani akufo adodi ye ewo Burkina Faso enu nti ama wo man yentam gina asai ewo Burkina Faso no wobesan asiesie ne biem wotirem se Ghana fo nyina ntwansiam na muntu mampani akufo adofo se enkonkonsa na wokodi ye efa Burkina Faso ho no wapa ho chew apa ho chew na so Burkina Faso fo ebuafu eno ho asem na sese woka na mum enya nkonfam a emunsam enya nokre.
And so we know what is happening in Burkina Faso. Indeed, we should be working closer with our comrades in Burkina Faso. Unfortunately, this government has created some tension between us and Burkina Faso because our president went and opened his mouth too wide. You saw the video. He went and was doing konkonsa about your neighbor. We all are here. We are suffering. America called you small, and you are so excited, and then your neighbor, you are doing konkonsa about him, you know. And so it has created some diplomatic tension. He went there and went and apologized, but still it's not the best. So when government changes, we have to go and talk to our neighbors because we must work together. Indeed, the whole anti-terrorism strategy of this sub-region was done in Accra. It's called the Accra Initiative. And so we are the hosts of that initiative. So we must be reaching out to them and seeing how we can collaborate with them in order that we quench the fire in their houses. Because if there's fire in your neighbor's house, you don't help him to put it off, it will spread to your house. And so I think that we must improve our relationship with Burkina Faso. At the same time, we must also strengthen our surveillance and security so that in case it comes into our borders, we are able to deal with it. And that is also the reason why we must solve the Boko crisis as quickly as possible, because just across the border is where this thing is happening.
Any ayati ye aya Frank Ocran Nhyiraba NDC amanyuko no kane mampani John Dramani Mahama anene wadi nchechirimu ato emonten eso no
ye to akase bono so ane yemfan wuramu e my Ghana nsɛmtwerɛ ni a wa ben pound hwehwɛmu ma pa ene o my Ghana baabi asɛm hyɛ wosuma bi bomɔden akɔbɔ de awura no akɔhwe asɛm no de aba ɔno kura nso obi a ɔsan so atwere homa ne den de manase azuri ɛyɛ arene wabɔ ɔmɔden akase kyerɛm sɛ wabra pa free sɛ ɔbɔ no homɔden bi asɛ homa bi a wɔtwerɛ bɛyɛ mfinhyia wɔtwe na Ghana mampani na dankwa kufa de bɛtena banwa so no ɛho nsɛm no dwumadi a wadi nyina watintim homa nim sɛ nka Ghana mampani anko behia no wana John na twetwe nkɔmɔ so Ghana mampani kyerɛ ne sɛ dabi ɛnya de obetumi ne wɔden atena akonya baako so na twetwe nkɔmɔ afiri sɛ ɔno nsɛmtwerɛni agya manase azole no watuna ne asene mu ye part time ne pa ne senti nya de ɔma ne saa kwanya no kra na manase azole kyerɛm sɛ ne ngoma a watwerɛ no yɛ 400 pages a kyerɛ ne documentary a wagya famu no kyerɛm sɛ enya sɛ mukuma kra ba sɛ mfinhyia wɔtwe ne Ghana mampani amamgu agwabuo ne de ɛho nsɛm nyina watintim bi a ɔhoma nim nanso wakase na wɔkyerɛm sɛ ɔbɔ no homɔden ane ɔmampani na dankwa kufuado ɔno ankasa na wɔfaase gabi ayɛ ɔkyere daako asare ɛne ne di nkɔmɔ na ɔka gye ne so ɔmampani deɛ wɔn nsa bɛka na bɔmmɔden ne nya abɔtraa ɔsan kyerɛm sɛ ɔbɔ no homɔden bi aprɛprɛprɛprɛ nso anya de ne nsa ka no ɛve nso ɔkyere daako bɔmmɔden ka gye nso ɔnya abɔtrɛ ɔno ankasa ne Ghana mampani na dankwa kufuado bɛkasa na afei atumi abɔ ne nsa tumi aka no nanso ɔbrɛ anya de ne nsa ka no ɔsan so kyerɛm sɛ ɔkɔhu opani a ne den ɔno kura san yɛ lawyer ne den de ɛkwaw asuman ɔka kyerɛ ne sɛ nipa obetumi abɔ ne nsa ka Ghana mampani ɛyɛ gabi ɔkyere daako nanso ɔkyerɛm sɛ ɔkyere daako yɛ de obetumi ayɛ na fam de nyinaa nanso ɔyɛ anya de ekosi aga ne senti saa asɛm na esi na yɛ ne yɛ paa na ɔkyerɛm sɛ Ghana mampani nkɔ de ani de nyinaa man so ɔma ne homɔde na nkagya enso ho do watwerɛ ne bi hɔ no man na nkɛsɛ mampani yi ne ho na ɛjɔ ne didi nkɔmɔ na Ghana fo nyina hu ne sɛ sisafo hɔ yɛ mu wanti nkagya nkɔpani so mpuru ne minimai na Ghana fo nyina nte ne nka nanso Ghana mampani kyerɛ ne sɛ oyo obi a sɛ de ne dwumadi etie no ɔmfa ne die ma ɔno mampani o mu no nti nya de mampani ba ɔmɔde a ɛma na ɛkwanya ma ɔno tumi ɛne ne di nkɔmɔ ɔgyemrɛ ɛne sɛmtwɛfo kasa kyerɛkyerɛ ne nsɛm emu enkyerɛ mu nie.
I decided at a point to start documenting happenings. So in 2019 I came out with my first of such series, the fourth John, Reign, Rejection and Rebound. And then he ended the dynasty of the Johns. Then we had our first Nana, who some of us thought was the savior. If the Johns came to prepare the way, then the Messiah was now coming to take us to the promised land. Unfortunately, that is not what we witnessed. And I have lived through this period, and I feel I have what it takes to document what has happened in the past 8 years. So I decided to, from what I know, what I have researched, and extensive interviews I had with certain persons in government, including some very close to the president, I decided to put this together, at least for posterity to know what has happened. If 50, 60 years from now, somebody comes and says, well, there was a certain Akufo-Addo or there was a certain John Mahama records, at least there's something documented. If you look at the current debate that is ongoing, a lot of it has to do with the fact that most aspects of our history have not been written, and then we have disjointed accounts. So if you take this book, it obviously cannot cover every single activity, but the major happenings in the past 6 years in the presidency of Akufo-Addo, including some that are not publicly known, but sources within the government revealed the stories behind them. I think this is the right time for us to take stock of what he has done. And as a journalist, I think it's also part of the accountability and letting the public know.
Is this going to be then an assessment of the reign of Akufo-Addo? But I also want to find out, do you have personal experiences in there? For example, there have been claims about, at a point you were being hounded and you ran away to South Africa and all of that. Are personal experiences in the book as well?
Any awoti investigative journalist, Niding Ede Manase Azuri Awene Nene and Awote no.
Yanto Nyumeno Siaka Sebono Eso. but mo dey say do adwenkyere ne nyina nso ebehia yen ewo yen Facebook no eso ye stream live ewo page no so a wo ba no wa search for DLFM 106.9 yet wa Kaseabo no so akoyanim na Ghana for adehia wono mo ye adwuma ewo produce buying company of Ghana mekyere PBC enne na nya sam kotoa ewo nkrapumpune mantamo Abeka Junction ne nyina no ene se wo mo kyere mu a afinie ana wono mo aye adwuma nenso aban no entua wono mo ka na ekom de wo mo yise bio wo mo mfa wo ma no enkopem dan ne moja ba wono mo atafere ana enu ntie ne wo mo tise montre so jai troboy ne ma ne mema je so yeyi wono mo ema che ya de wo mo ni kyerem ewo PBC headquarters ano no ewo jowlu ewo eye ayawa so west wo gonkropon emu a ne nyina no ene se wo mo kwakwa yire mpanimfo akwaka kyerem mpanimfo se bio adwuma na wo mo eye no wo mo froka wo mo wo yire wo ma wo mo aye adwuma afilie na saban wuntua wo no ka na abaye wo pesa wo kyerɛ sen na wo bra wo no mo ekasa no wo no mo ekyerɛ mu se wo mbesre eye economic and organized crime office yokofo se ba bia edro no wo mo ntubnika na wo no mo enya investigation ehwehwemu akwakyiri emfemfa eye produce buying company fo no ho firi se nansen ekade na company fo no eye company asset wo manager pade nko mo ton edi go motom na nansan kura no mo hunu se cars bia brebi na nko mo yuso no cars no ema ho biem na kyerɛ se wo mu susu se management no edema eye produce buying company wo mo etimi abosa cars ni nyina donkomi ama menewo ekasai aye nsem pipa wono mo ekyirem se wo hwɛ company no edwapade a na nkakane wo mu nim se ewo ho no a nansan wo mo yɛ omadwe se wo mo sa aton ema nam so krampo ma Agricultural Development Bank ADB for any banks ahodo makoma enum bi ekoje court order ede beto so se yempene da ema mo PBC for no monton na headquarters no Nyeman bi enso ekoi eye number 106 Olusegun Obasanjo Road wojolu enkrabumpude mantamunti no mbesre se ne demonstration no omo dejo market ya na afensu iyokofo nya nhwemu firi se mpanifo no esuma se dwadie bi akoso entempanifo enfekire enwa wem
ntia yaka na yaka saka omuntia yaka ya ye press conferences ya sorry aye pre-demonstration ya ne media houses are engaged on aka yaka tia wansam ya provident fund akam ya tie 3 ya bottom sika ya ti edia to wose adwafo hwe so mayen o my invest aye overdue for more than 2 years saska nyina akam ya ntia yaka afinie afenso yenye sika ya de ya adwuma as a company na yaka sasem nyina asoma mfaso enti so hu se nipa bi be ya press conference union o motro moto so o manyo o madwuma anu ti ya fa ne sada bi ye na adwumafo nyina ehwe yen se ye besore na yaka abani betie enti ne ye hia mu a ye beka ye haw efa ye katua akamu ye provident father akamu ye tie 3 akamu sika yenya ye di ye adwuma se abaimra no betie enu masem enti bi ye adwuma afi mo muti ho as a management mo go peska ma me efa nya adwuma mo sole ya ye gas mo start to toy ye gas ade na mo tren ye mbeza mo tren ne se mo adwuma no mo guno na de enim se adwuma employer utimi ne wo workers nya adwuma bi mu a you come out there was severance award method and I say a compensation method I say a working na the job economico what you all know say me nya adwuma sale hello Ghana ha no kura ni atini ya bre ni aso ya ba ya be ma no kura ni ya dai adati
eni ayeti yei eye Ghana fo ade hia wono mo ya adwuma ewo produce buying company PBC kire se wo ma ya adwuma afinie aban ni ntua wo mo ka enu nti wo mo ntimi ntina se ema se bieburu eduadu mfranan wo mesi kotia na wanje bode betem na bode ndane kokwa na boa petekura wa beti akoye bode kokwa to nso petekura wo chene ye light soup wankwan no entimi mpida enu nti kai kowa ni kowa de obewo ni bewuo emu nsam ana watie no
oko
ye
PBC foye o mo bre pa o unim sa ka no mo ye eye leading cocoa buying company wo my Ghana oh o ma me wura hokra PBC pa ne
wura be ho
wonum esu eprisi kasema na omunyan wi asem da ne ampa empenifo mu awonum na okun we de eden
ha na bo onyu mu ne me kan ne se na maka ne ye mpo amama ya nkona mu
we ye jo malion we that time na menye sho se na me wasasi so mo boy na me tiase eden PBC nyame ne hene because minimum abakwasam kakra pa
asa wo de wo so
say enwuram no
wo tena enwuram kakra
sa se hwi ayi pomu ho nti
yeah no ye no nyame adom ye wo East Legon ana ye de ko we ewo trasa kunti no minimum nsanso no
ye ka ho nsensem
minimum de krokra
yenko ye ne mo
so asoko
yentu akase bon se bon fanwure mu ewo coalition of students a year school of hygiene o makase kirem se ye kese no empenifo do mo ka be yam finhia mienu ni 2021 ne bepem 2023 nya de empenifo atua o mo ka wonom kirem se ne yezenya semkuma wonom allowance sa bosum bia du eska kakra ban be podwa wonom nsem se ne adusuafo mo nye na mo so bra mo bere mo ngemfante mo kaso bi no mo kirem se nya de aban etua sikende mo kirem a sana mutuo na aban ne wo mudie no enya de wo mani eje ho kra mo kirem se wonom fafo so mbo modea ekọ school ewo ho eye school of hygiene 2021 wo mkoye eye certificate batch den so wonom sika nzo akwakema wonom kirem se enya de ampanifo etimi atua skai na school fo ne kirem se yekese ne mpo no school na mo kọ ne mpo mu ni wo da ache free se yekese oman no adwuma ne binim ukọ school na na akọ degree ne nyina na wi a adwuma ne mpo bi ni ho a wonsa beka afin so wonom allowances kakran so ombedi se sie ne mpo no se mpanifo ntua de na ezeja moya abro wonom asabre wonom musu ni sente nyade ade anema mpanifo tuo no wonom ebojo sokra wonom chese se yekese ma maden o ma engage minister of sanitation na afin so water resource aba maden na o ma kasa na afin so oswafo hwe o ma ga na sika sam so mo maden na sika wodo akwasha wonom to a wonom bezo mbetua de ama se school fo ankoro mo maden tua sika free say wonom ebre pa yimanara wuku onna ye wo mo chese na twatwofo penin kirem se ha wodo ha wonom no so pa ye free say won be wie suku mpo se be ya ban kra be fo madwuma mpo ne pa kwa ye boachi bidin won be ka kasa o kirem se won fafo bi mpo mo wie suku from 2020 be pem ne ebiri mu tufi anya de omunya adwuma mpo je eka chese awofo bo nya kwa ye ka huna won mu kire se mfaso bi anya maso na esi ye kese mu gusu asi ade na esi ana akatua so se o monsa ka se allowances na so bosum bi de na made na esaban wadu o mo hwa mo pa ezukufo kirem se won mu akasa kirem se saban antie o musu frɛ na wa mwa pa na sala wansi zo munsa nka de na yechecheche be so my Ghana mu no enya de a ebi esida wonom esan so ekase kirem se ye kese no omu gusu ani stakeholder hodo a omu ka bi omu nyina kaka di se eni so mmomode yankasa bi na mo fa office ena ma hodo bi aban de omu fa so no enya de omu bojo so kra ni senti omu akasa bontre ne se sabe ya man homoden ampa bibi anya enfa fo mala wansa na ho de a esbe be si krom ha se no enya sem kuma yimanara wuku ejemane samtrefo kasaye emu enchiremu ni.
It has never been easy for our people. In fact, for about 2 years now, hygiene trainees have not received their trainee allowances. That is for the period starting from January 2023 up to date. We are also looking forward to drum up the cries of our people because there is some kind of fear and panic being created among them due to the fear of unemployment after training. Because we have the badges of 2021, 2022, 2023, and even currently the 2024 batch who have completed the school, or they are all at home. So we are pleading on stakeholders to hear our cry because it is like the Ministry of Sanitation and the Ministry of Finance are just, let me say, kicking us, and they are not scared of what we can do. So for now we are just pleading because if we should listen to what our people are saying, by this time a demonstration would have been going on.
Any awuti a coalition of students at the Mass School of Hygiene, no one general secretary. Ne den at the Emmanuel Ewuku, Nene, and Autie, no.
Yantwa Kasiabono so na yankan Ghana for messages ne kakra. Ewo yen Facebook no so fresa sa wo pre won kwa wuti ewo kon anymore. Empenisi amanfo so ne eja wonte Kasiabono emu odu sa no. Esese ne Ghana fo nyina echesoa. Na Sky Power ana wasi good evening. Okogyeabour Kwadwo Sammy. DLFM news emu da ho papa no wotie en live. Eddie Free Ashaman and also what I say. The news is great. Yada sepam. Ana piaga wadiaba. Dia wade ba ni enka ho asem Mr. Ofatwene baby ansa. Ana Doris Chum was loud and clear. Ewo ensawem dobru. Ana was DL news papa was papa no. Ana Richmond Fletcher was good evening wofa. I am watching you live. Eddie Free Adabraka. Na fantastic news. DLFM no size. Ana odoi di free tema. Wasi news no emuda ho papa. Na wase Muhammad's campaign has fallen flat. Okay, yada se. Nana Okogyeabour Ocran Nhyiraba Ablekuma. Central. ano no so wode aba me pato do de ba ye menka ho asem nyame nhira wo Cephas Bonny wo say hello Okon woni Kwadwo Sammy news no de emuda ho pa na wuti bibia nso clear wo say eye life e Tema community 3 wo say more fire good evening yada say ana vida akatara wo say look at this man oh so enti mo say Ghana awie no wo say anya hode akogina platform so e ka kire Ghana fo say mo wie yan nanso mo pa ye chew nti Ghana fo nsa ntoma mo biem wo say twa kai say Ghana fo beto aba e de ama MPP ahokire we wo say ebi nsida na kire say honorable Mohammed Amin Adams ne response na mpanifo de abai ana Robert Gameli was offer honorable Robert Gameli manifesto number 2 for Ablekuma West's free DNA test for every firstborn and Anna Kofi Parliament was my favorite radio station in Ghana DLFM 106.9 was muye kikim loud and clear inside Aguna Bobikuma in the central region. Anna Francis was offer I am watching you live at the Free Spain Test Road Batrona Doris Anim was in news no papa ni mode ana Obediosen was Abubo ya riders Pragia riders and one more Epia Hibaro ewo mepacho Kasua CP and an potamo one mu nyina twahia mu news no wo mu soku atesanya sam gotwa was DL News emu odasa confirm nam ewurade ana Frankie Sego your friend no DJ Cyrus was saying Ghana is sweet too. I don't think demonstration shakes the leaders in Ghana at all. They watch them as watching television. Anna Bart yes Smith was here. I am watching you live. Eddie Free Watford United Kingdom and Wahima Krum and was offer good evening na news no so ne Kwadwo Sammy emu odasa no manam Abbas Austin was it the two great guys always doing great adwonko yenso ya das pa Abbas na miento akase ebo no so na yenko yanimu a abusua samudi mwani edi yenkase ebo hodo ni nyina achi a July bosumi a etwa mu ne da na to so edu enso mekire 17th July 2024 year ana ye maami ani din ede madam Windom Bell Sowa wo obi a wato asase ewo aboko bi adanse ewo Ga East Kropon mu ewo nkran na wo ba efia ha DLFM studios ha ede betu dwa kire mu se na asase a wato a wasi dan asiso etwa fence wala fa ho 2009 na ya santo akura sua ene ni fie nanim ana enipa bi akoton eye asase kitwa bi a eye kwan eye public road eda efie nanim na enipa bi akoton ede ama wopani bi efre ne sa Alhaji ama se wono a woto ne dan anase woto ne fie 2009 no bepem ne wontimi enwura ne fie na wopese woye obi asebio yetimamuni papa as a law abiding citizen tino wanfa emra anshanesem wochirem se wotro nkrata de koma abokobi municipal assembly mechira East sabre na ye mami Janet Tulasi Mensa no ye MCE bepem ne empanifo ntu ho anamon ema ye kasai abrante no a wochirem se efre ne se Alhaji a wono no wato saa ekwan a se yesi dan ewo kwan finfin ewo abokobi adanse no woguso a wo ye adwuma no wochirem se wanso hono mo a wasan eko eya regional police command ema regional crime officer ewo nkrampumpuri mantem ha etu anamawo ede warning ebre mranti a esi dan ewo kwan mu ne se mamu nsi edan no wokwan na monya adwuma no wochirem se di nansa ana mranti ebo ye mfita duku anom sa besi eye site hono mo a wono mo esi dan no eno achi no wako assembly hono mo wakwa na municipal coordinating director aka kire ne se enye madwuma eye urban roads engineer adwuma na wofiri hono mo a na wako estate engineer ho ye fa ni Peter ewo abokobi wochire mo a woko Peter hono mo a na engineer so aka kire se wo enye madwuma eye municipal coordinating director dia wochire msa asa assembly no eye no approve back and forth kona bra mama mi wa bre pam na ene ana mami wono nkasa kire mu se wadi Ghana mraso na assembly no edi ni hwambo na Ghana police service edi hwambo wa bra wa petition edi abramu a wontimi ntena se emase bio na dwapade no enkoka nwuram ewa bra wasini dan nanso wontimi nwuramu enu ntene wo fa budoza se okodwiri hono moto agu wo so oduru hono mo a hono mo na police fo no a wono nkasa petition akwa wo mo amfie no apolisifoɔ no de mmerante abegu hɔ san yɛ mpene na empene kyena yɛ ba me no ekyirem sɛ de yakɔso no ɛyɛ ne ya ɛnu nti wɔbɛsra mpanifo ekebie wom mampani Akufo-Addo sada nso ana Minister for Works and Housing ana Minister for Roads and Highways sɛ de ɛkɔso ɛwɔ aboko bi adanse na Ga East Municipal Assembly yɛtimi atenase ama ene public road yesi dan wo mu na blocking nkrofo ensuo to na eyiri kɔ nkrofo dan mu na so assembly no enka hwe no wɔn de wobetima ka ne place assembly no ehye saa illegalities nachi entina saa de no ekoso wɔbra wɔgye bre ani DLFM centrofo edi enkomo no ye ma me windom bell so wa na nimu nsɛm ne
no ano mi san kɔ assembly no because you see me nko hu that the same fitter engineer no nko ho no no ni ho na me defa MCD office ekɔchia no but as a matter of fact no see wo mu na ye wo mu adwuma wo se wo mu mbra na wo be solve problem we are facing enti me hwa me hu say for almost a year now assembly for be stop wo mu work womu tietie mi no still womu ye adwuma ansa na asem no call central no send ya me kan na no studio ho no crime officer stop womu work until the assembly will come in the next day na womu trap blocks on blocks enti mi so the way nyama ye ko no be hu na womu ye adwuma na ewie na sabio akodani asem kese e chen fitiase no enti mi so mi ko pay machine no be grade mani mami na me nya access to my property because send ya almost CCC pillars, iron rods pillars, no idea, no. It's an eyesore, and the place is Earmark Road. And I also saw me fear him. And machine no ye jumana na papa no see ya to a man no alajino. Fred, me CID detective na me the case no ke man no central no say me the crophobia about say on be grade on mo nti. Wo mun jai ejuma no. Na I don't think say or say on massa command no. Say me and me the machine aba say me clear my frontage no on stop ejuma no. Nti say sia no say na asem no akosi. Ehwa na opponent no wo mo to asase no. Ba ko ni police for miensa ba si ba ko ye friend no one Peter police ni no but ya video wo mo ye wo videos ni nyina e na onu say ye njai na ya friend from central e na me si abokora me ni na akasa chief abu na wo central me ni na akasa e fa asem we hu
enti abusuani ayeti yi aya ye mame a ne din e de windom bell so wa wo ye property owner e wo aboko bi adanse ewo Ga East kropon yi emu ana de assembly no ede ne fa so no na kosam ana wo kan na eno achi na wo kirem se wono se bio wotimi ko school ni bi wonim Ghana mra eno nti de won pese wo de mra be hye ne nsem a wabo assembly amane na so assembly no ede ni di approve ana a police fo no so a wo bo wo mamane ewo regional police command no wo mo nso wontimi nka se wo magi bibi na emom de wo mo ye ne kire se womonye womadwene kra so de Ghana ma no eya dwuma eno nti se wo betena se ama wo bi edi na dwapade a wato no 2009 ebedi agro de ekwan obefa so a Ghana ono nso no sabetima kana dwapade na obefa so saa bra no duru a mopa mo mfa nkwa de hake wo beba
eye nyina ye bekọ central e no si yo ye bekọ afi ehwa no si o try picture yesu ye fire phone yesu ye twa wo mo pictures ni videos ni bi because CID crime officer aka kire wo mo say wo mo nja adwuma na wo mo mbu wo mo ni they have taken the law into their own hands no me susu se ne ama fa point papa so say I'm law abiding person me dey afafa the rightful quarters ni nyina me who good result no I also had to take the law into my own hands enti na me ko fa machine edi ba no next plan of action no me claim him so I will continue and pursue what I am doing say me be claim him no ni osi onti ase no hoye kwan mu enye se kwan keke but major road wam ebinum encroach road no baby asem no be ko enko na Ghana fo nyina njaji asem no emfa mane
eni ayeti yi eye madam windom bell so wa waye oba pani a wato na sase ewo aboko bi adanse ewo Ga East municipality nkrahanomo ana de ekoso na nenye ho no wo chim sese wo pass maka kire nyankopon na de gu mframam wo beti ni hu emunsam ana watie no yenyina we so ena ye homra sesi a ye ba ye otetefo no krado na yemfa sofa na yension sofa no emra Sam this is Sam's consort ebo ye chiridom
Yes, yeah, no man to our water. Out of menu that in a metu better.
Makwanto hu nsɛm ɛyɛ medadwen nanso meyɛ nsɛm tro ne nti menya adagye yɛ hwehwɛmu ɛkɔ hu Sunday Sam's consult na wɔnom nti ɛnɛ metimi ba menya abrɛ ne adagye ɛkenkan yɛ ɛyɛ investigations about wɔn ɛna me hu sɛ wo apply for visa assistance a emfeli efri sɛ wɔnom ɛwɔ track records madansi die nie ma me nintrɛw Sunday Sam's consult ɛdi Britia wabi ɛbɛgye wo visa ama wo sɛ wokɔ United Kingdom, Canada, Dubai, Poland, Croatia, na afei kra de Serbia, any Greece nso abɛka ho a work permit etachiri. Ma menkyerɛ wɔ mo etchiri kwan. Sunday Sam's consult ɛwɔ Ofanko barrier, Asofan, ɛwɔ Ben Wise Park Hotel, ɛwɔ Asofan New Station hɔ nom a. Frɛ number 0244-291546. Email address nso ɛyɛ samuelowusu626@gmail.com. Yɛgye ehu die nti, we connect dreams with opportunities. Ɛma ne nyawa dwendwen, frɛ wɔnom na nso bedi adanseɛ. Media.
Hey, Anokrase, fix my ride, Edjumayukui, Ama, Omanfo, Bopre mine, Tanga, Eguyasu, Okrom ha papa. Say, Ejagana ha, Womuni Abimfua, Womusisi accident cars, Mandi Sekaya manufacture in a year. Womu Bomode, Aye engine tuning, overhauling, body works, oven spraying, air condition service, upholstery, electrical works, automatic gearbox repairs, maintenance, and a general car service in Bia. So, Waka Dada, and I say now person what on flower one better the amount says here. One more touring car beto come out freeze or your customer dear. And I saw the accident car bound the marker for say tree and also free. Shall fix my ride limited a cheap power a crack academy school no enchemo Odoko police quarters kwano so Atiko Junction Goyo fuel station no echi Kaneshi Odoko highway 1 crime. Fresh 0303-944-880 0202-227-660 0540-556020 and our website www.fixmyrideghana.com. Fix my ride, own the finishing.
DLFM 106.9.
Yama Ghana for Akwaba, Emra Kasiebono Eso. Me pato baby edro no eye sofa na yenso sofa. Ye bia homana tum na Ghana for monso madwenkyere. Modi abafre se krom ha mo na mutua tax. Ansam ni nyina no ene se finance minister. Honorable Dr. Mohammed Amin Adams anta wade atobja kyerem se afedie waje atom se esu amusu ni nyina no ye no kore ahokyere no ewo ho na emom Ghana fo boni bi aba na ye no momfa enche me pacha wo echew pay mo kai se enra ana Dr. Asasante wo ye political scientist ewo Legon obeka saye ana wo kyerem se ba bia dro no Ghana fo ewo ahokyerem aba na nyintum no me pacha wo ana ne finance minister abepa muchawi mepa muchawo echawpa moje tumusen 0534 050199 0534 050199 and 0593 4065 65. Good evening.
Good evening.
We did this now from me friend.
Unofficial mayor of Committee 25.
Simple Accra Francis.
Abuja, Yamamoni Ajuma.
Ajuma dase.
Say, Yabajiatum. Na Ansan Yabajiatum, na you peg bikakra. So, Omo, ye momonomes. And at least Bibikakra no dia sum. And if you Mamena Omotetin was an assassin. Come on, the Koya, anyway, and Yana before I be a betcheno.
Nine catching.
Oh, actually,
as a why. As a why.
And the pillars, as you or road, no to tuning in our level. I knew it was now their level.
Let us say good evening. Lydia.
The cat.
It is a.
Yeah,
that's it. Finance Minister saw Pagana for what you did to Sampa, what you did at Temu.
The patch on there, that one I don't blame him. But they all can say we should have patience, but the government is putting certain things in place. How many months now can go vote?
I can't 4 months.
In the time when a government in the Bayan my year. Or patch or just be on the point. Stop beating about the bush. More patch or asa. Now the government better to your mom the 4 months your kotoaba. If you how many days and how many months on the best send your money. Approach on the aje but there's also the me nyagin wo.
Meda se papa good evening.
Ofa.
Me ofa se.
Yeah, ofa majo.
Mejo so.
Ofa gansaka.
Simple. Amansi apremre.
Ofa wunim me.
Bonne, wo dia wo bonne.
Ofa.
Ofa se.
Embenefo na omo de afa de o mate ni ayeka.
Omo so omo pa mo chew.
Oba wunim bibi. Wana oka wasem. Omu nunu omo ho ana o mankasa omo sere.
Na me kan da bai.
Ofa. Omu nunu omo ho ana omo sere.
Wo de
omu musua enunu omo ho. Yo omo sere. Se sabi yekoko emoti no. Eyo omo dia. Omo betre ya fi.
Meda say. Okay, Meda say good evening.
Yes, me wafa.
Me wafa se be ni.
Wafa me ka se ti agi, wafa se ya.
Me wafa se ya, ma me ntie wa aburi.
Wafa kwanso.
Kwanso.
Wafa kwanso.
Me se kwanso.
Kwanso.
Bunyo. Kwanso also se kwanso. E dia na do ba.
Wafa me fa form.
O fa form. Ya tia aburifo. Titiro ni aburi dankama. Ensanfo bi wo ho. Eyi Kwadwo Sammy pepa. Good evening.
Good evening.
Udi ni baby afre mi free.
Pojo me de nana mi free kasoa.
Mami ntie o nana.
Pojo ani de e chopa ni de yeje tu. Kapere de di yo na yo ya, e ya o feye. Eno ano no.
Meda ase papa. Good evening.
Fine me ofa ba ko pe.
Me ofa se be ni.
Set sakumo no.
Mami ntie o seto.
Afa, afi na o se won be pa cho. Kamo fry o. Ya to abenti. Apa cho ni de nyintum. Won fo won pa cho.
Meda ase papa. Good evening. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Wafa.
Udi ni baby a wo frɛ me free.
Wafa, papa Junior, tala komisinan.
Me pa cho, me amon kommo.
Papa me da se me chawo no tiefo ni me.
Tiefo Joso.
Me na ya me tawo me jiwa, ya mu se, na do na pa fo. O fi se Ghana fo ni ya nkola na se Ghana fo sabe. Idi dia. Idi na se yifu ya ma ya cha azente. O finance minister we answer na tele for that ebeja we da mo no. Mo me ni e ko so mo ntan wa ati aka just so e ko to alo no. Ati di wa won kana o ba si. So wa won ti be mo hu. Pa me se Ghana economy ni na o be se na ba sa ma ti o ma na me. O ma bo mo no o mo ko fi ai. Madasi.
Meda say good evening.
Good evening of Baku pe.
Me wafa say be ni.
I want to say opening kasi ajokwa mtela akroponsi na junction.
Mami ntie o.
No puhu ina chiachia ya mambo ni municipal wama.
Yadasi.
Na kwe finance minister wabaka na kwese nema mweti. Osho mwa asega na kwenye na mujitu because UK kura ankuyi wo. Ye do ho ntumunji ntum na mumunta wangati nyama ya doma nema beko yiwa.
Menso Meda say good evening.
Good evening, Oko.
Udin baby afre me free.
Me dey the line because of senyons.
Mpacho mami ntie o.
Na nye mpelefu ya no so wa bojuma che kwa me komai.
Can you imagine?
Gara fofo adwere wo. Eda wase.
Menso Meda say papa good evening.
Evening Wafa.
Udin baby afre me free.
Doris, me kasa free Dobro.
United States of Dobro. Mpacho mami ntie o.
What's the finance minister today?
Was so pa mo chow.
Enti maybe sa ono so say enti. Why ya ni obeye wie na say no be kan say okay. 106.9. Ofa na asem kono ho a.
Hey.
Kacha say me say ofa na asem kono ho a.
Sa. Meda say, hey, Dobrofo. Aye hu say ngudam. Good evening. We are my last caller. Na mempon.
Every Joseph Gaddafi came up from Jolify.
Mami ntie we.
So, the driver in the patch on a meeting in the other day. Like it's a meeting not to me drive car no.
Men so medase papa ye producer so ye my last caller. Good evening.
Good evening, Ohene.
Would any baby have frame me free?
Mr. Frame alam pamuna na ubetimi adime so or come de me papa.
E come de me papa.
Patra me bo me de alam pamuna na de me so come de me papa na come de me mame.
Wo de John home na ne ate yenko.
Ese no me se wo me se me be sa fana Mr. se wa ma come awi yem papa fo ni yem mame fu awie. Omogu papa ni wie no. Omeja wa ma ko de de fi ebi mu afa mewu na afa no be pa woncho. Tani chopa no entimi mpeja won free sama don fan ba tani pa ni to de mata onko pa onanga ta nebusu afo eso se omo entimi wa emu oman ni yemo mo ta so nko nju hu yemo mo ta so brediem.
Yo meda se papa Ghana fo akasa mentimi mfa frefo no ebiem ye begina we so na akase bo no ye de asi DJ Omarion ede ko Facebook no so akenkanfo mienu edia mejeso eye Gangster Cat ya mitenkura wo Okogyeabour Ocran mene.
Nhyiraba Kwadwo Sammy B osofu penia enwosra edwa mesesi amekese mataso ayamasese tam
ye gina we so ama munyina adwo ama munyina mu enitie
DL News.